At 10 months old, I began experiencing health problems that were sporadic at first, yet by the time I was 2, these episodes became more frequent. As a precaution, the doctors advised my parents to take me to see a specialist in Kansas City. When the specialist saw me, he instantly told my parents that he knew what I had: McCune-Albright syndrome, a rare genetic disorder that most of the medical community did not know anything about, and those who did knew very little. The doctor handed my parents a trifold brochure. It held all the information that researchers knew about my disease. From the beginning, it was a battle. This disease was a monster that no one knew how to handle. Even the specialists were walking in the dark. In elementary, I was constantly breaking bones. Sometimes my bones would just snap because they were so weak. Soon, the disease spread to my back, causing acute scoliosis, and I wore a full-body back brace for 5 years. We had hoped that the brace would fix the curve. Unfortunately, the scoliosis was so severe that my back was at a 100-degree curve. This required 2 intense surgeries to correct the curve. By the time I finished elementary, I was a weak, scarred girl. As I entered high school, the Lord touched my bones and began to heal them. I hated having McCune and being different, but I was determined to not let it stop me. So I began to strengthen my body through physical therapy and learn to live with my disease. At my youth group, I enjoyed being one of the kids, but I still knew that I was not normal, especially when I had to step out of a game because I was physically unable to handle it, or when I told my physical therapist that I wanted to learn how to skip. At 16, I began my first job at an after-school program for children. For hours, I was walking around and lifting multiple laptops at a time with no problem. During the years that I was there, I never had an incident. Then I began my own business as a piano teacher, and it was incredibly successful. I was learning to live with McCune. When I was 19, the Lord gave us a miracle report that none of us were expecting. My parents and I had gone to a research hospital for a week to meet with doctors who specialized in McCune and fibrous dysplasia. Fibrous dysplasia is another disease that is part of McCune. In fact, it is the part that affects the bones. It is mosaic, meaning that it can start in one part of the body and then travel to other random areas through the patient's life. Each person's amount of FD in their body is different. Some patients may have one spot, while others may have it in half of their skeletal system. It can cause 2 main symptoms. First, it can cause deformity due to abnormal bone growth and bone cysts. These cause other health problems, such as hearing loss, breathing trouble, and paralyzation. Surgeries can sometimes help, but the diseased bone always grows back, sometimes worse than before. The second symptom is constant pain. It can be an aching pain or a sharp pain. Simple tasks such as brushing your teeth or writing become painful as the bones weaken. Sadly, there is currently no cure for this pain. General pain medications may help a little, but pain becomes a part of daily life for a fibrous dysplasia patient. When we went to the research center, we knew that I had fibrous dysplasia on the whole left side of my body. But after a week of testing, the doctors looked at me, puzzled. Then they asked if I had any pain. I told them the truth. I had no pain. Then they studied my body and commented that I was barely deformed. My parents and I were confused by the doctor's strange behavior towards me. Finally, the doctor said, "We have had over 200 patients with McCune and fibrous dysplasia come into this hospital. Some have had only a few spots that cause much pain and deformity. But out of all those patients, you have the most fibrous dysplasia we have ever seen. In fact, it has infected your entire body. Yet you are hardly deformed and have no pain. How is this possible?" I looked at my parents. We knew how. It was God. He had rescued me from this disease. Though the disease had swallowed my entire body, He had not allowed it to touch me any longer. While I was in elementary struggling with this disease, God called me to be a missionary to Thailand. It was a dream that I had, even while my bones were breaking and I was wearing my back brace. My family and I wondered if I would ever be able to go. Well, I could go. I did go, and I am here now. Can I stay in Thailand with my disease and all of my past health problems? Yes. There are certain precautions I have to take, like being in an area that has a good hospital and that is easy to track. Yet, I do not let my disease dictate me. It is my goal to learn how to live wisely, yet adventurously. Can I succeed in Thailand? I can succeed only as much as I am willing to let go. Holding on to my past will limit God and what He can do in my life. By letting go and allowing Him to come in, I can succeed, but only with Him. Can I trust God to protect me from McCune-Albright syndrome? Yes, I can and I do. But trust is not a feeling. It is an action that takes courage. It took courage for me to step onto the plane to come here. And it takes courage every day to trust that He will protect me. But I can trust Him. I believe God rescues the suffering. Those suffering are swallowed by the pain and the evil in their lives. But God comes and rescues them. I was swallowed by an unknown disease for so many years. Nevertheless, I am speaking to you today from Thailand, rescued by God. I believe I can live in freedom from McCune-Albright syndrome. This freedom is not only physical, it is also mental and spiritual freedom that says my disease does not define me or my life. It is Christ who defines me and my life. He has given me the freedom to live without McCune-Albright syndrome. I believe I will declare God's healing in my life. The ultimate reason why we are here is to give glory to God. Yes, what I endured was terrible and hard, but I would endure it all again if it meant bringing glory to God. Now, it is my job to share my story to declare His glory. I believe I am a testament to God's rescuing power. When people look at me, they will not see a small scarred girl who is weak and diseased. No, they will see a young woman alive only by the grace of God, a testament of God's power to rescue the hurting and the suffering. This I believe.